Yeah, I would say the one thing that I've maybe struggled, it's been a struggle, but also it's the one thing that I've come to realization of is that my role as a father is I have to fucking remain calm. You know, no matter what the situation is, that's my job for my family. I have to give them that sense of, you know what, shit is gonna be okay, we'll figure it out.
But this is where I do challenge that though, right? Because is that really your job? Because it kind of, you know, just to be devil's advocate, it kind of puts it in a box. It kind of puts you in a box to say, okay, well, this is your role, but what if dad needs to freak out right now? Like, what if dad needs to be scared?
I
what
think
if
there
dad
will be those spaces, but when I mean that is, so when I'm saying like in terms of how we argue, what I've realized is, okay, that, you know, the way we've argued before, we have to evolve from that. And I know that my role in that is, okay, I just have to, you know, I have to swallow some things sometimes. I have to like, you know, if it's not that big of a deal, I have to really now pick my battles.
Yeah.
Because there's a kid that's gonna be watching all of this now and learning from that.
Yeah, well, that's one thing. I mean, I do get that. And I do think about, okay, there's going to be a child that's watching your every move, learning from you at all times. But I also think about this in the sense that, you know, how much of me is going to become a completely different individual? And the fact that, you know, there are certain things, you know, to put it plainly, there are times when I'm wrong or she's wrong or we're both wrong, you know. And I have this fear sometimes that because you're now pregnant and because now there's more at risk and because, you know, now I've, you know, fucked up so many times or whatever, there's a bit of an eggshell situation that's going on. I kind of fear that I might go too far where I now am becoming subservient in a way, where I'm I'm not arguing, I'm not putting my mind on the table, I'm not saying what I really think is right or wrong at that time, and then there's no, you know, because with friction sometimes comes a good result.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
this is the one thing that I've experienced myself with asking myself, do I challenge this or not?
Yeah.
And what is the intention? Like I have to evaluate, why am I not challenging this? Is it really because I'm scared to challenge it, or is it really because there's no need to?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I guess when I say to remain calm, it isn't about giving up your own independence, your own self-expression, and being subservient. Is when you do challenge things, remain calm. You know, like, remember we were
Just
talking
how
about
you go
stoicism.
about it.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
stoicism,
yeah.
just like, you know, see the bigger picture.
Yep.
It's because like, it's not about me anymore.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
about, okay, I have to show a good example of some sort.
What I'm actually really curious about in terms is how you both are handling the expectations, let's say, that's coming now with being a dad, or being a father, or being a, what's called lower partner in the relationship. Like how are you guys looking to tackle that? Who wants to kick off?
I mean, we've talked about it as well, but also that she's, you know, when you get pregnant, you become a mother, you know, there's part of the reason you have 9 months is you grow into this new role. You know, you learn a lot of new things, your body changes, your mind changes, your outlook on the world changes. And I think it's the same for fathers as well.
Yeah.
You know, because I felt that at the beginning of the pregnancy, there was a lot of anxiety, but there's a lot of like, okay, what do I do now? How do I navigate all of this? And I feel a bit calmer now, simply because it's also, I feel that a lot of my own mannerisms and sort of processes have also been adjusting for the last 9 months as well. You know, that one, I mean, when I was mentioning to you in terms of like arguments, you kind of just, you know, it's now become something I'm settled with and it's funny, but at some point you realize, oh, I can't have an argument with you the same way anymore. You know, especially one, you're in this vulnerable stage. It's like whatever you need, whatever you want, that's just what it doesn't matter what my feelings is. I remember talking to my uncle about it when we had an argument, and he was saying like, dude, this is your job now just begins as a partner and as a father. Like, this is a new role, and it doesn't matter what your feelings are anymore. You know, it's like you have a role to do. You have to be someone's husband and to be somebody's father. And it took a while to grow into that, you know, my feelings actually aren't the top priorities anymore.
No one cares about you anymore.
Yeah, no one gives a fuck about me.
Yeah, I was thinking about this recently. I mean, for me, it's a bit tough. I've always struggled with being a good partner, I have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always struggled with this. I think I've been very selfish a lot of times, and you know, it was either me just trying to, you know, become a musician and you know, throwing my whole life into that. I mean, I remember even telling my partner, her that, you know, you will always be second to music. Like, you just gotta know that. Like, that's the trajectory that I was on at some point.
Like,
you know?
cool.
And I think she kind of was like, yeah, okay, he's just an artist, you know, that's how artists are sometimes. They do this, you know, and I bought into it, and she bought into it, and I just started to act like an asshole, you know. And I think I've always struggled with that. That's one thing I think I got from my father. Struggled, you know, to be an upstanding partner or, you know, friend or wherever. And you know, I've fucked up a lot. Like, I've fucked up a lot in my time. And so it's sometimes I feel this weight where I think, like, shit, am I gonna pull this off? Like, am I going to be able to now live up to all this now new expectation? And I think I'm happy that I'm having a kid now at this time of my life, because I've kind of beaten a few of my demons that I don't need anymore. But yeah, it's still a bit scary. It's a bit scary, you know. I don't doubt that I can do it, but it's gonna be tough at times.
Absolutely.
I just know it's gonna be, and it's internally tough. It's not, you know. I think I have more control over myself in order to lash out. Like, I don't think I'll do immature things that I used to do before, but I think I will internally have some sumo wrestling going on where I'm just dealing with.
And do you feel that this year, though, that you've gotten the chance to sort of really try to address those demons and try to deal with them meditatively?
Meditation has changed my life.
Yeah, I think for me, it's just pivoting from who I was before. Not like I was like this other dude before.
Who was that?
Like, who's this guy
before?
before?
Who are you?
I think it's more pivoting to like just knowing that, okay, like this is the next stages of our lives, right? So, whereas and the reason why I say this now, so I kind of think now, or I'm trying to think now in terms of, okay, what's a long-term plan? Because before it was just like, okay, like for instance, I can come to Berlin for 1 year, or we can come to Berlin for 1 year and then move. Can't do that anymore because, you know, we have a child on the way. So we have to, like, I think that's just something we've been trying to just get to, just like, okay, so how are we gonna like plan for the futures and stuff like that? But I think on the expectations for myself, I think it's just getting my mindset right, which is just like, hey, you know, I think I probably spend too much more time, let's say, doing work, or just thinking about, or just things where I'm just like, I just got to make sure we have a great like family, that kind of stuff. Whereas I see the issues with people who take that path, which is in the end they're like, oh yeah, so you know, my child turned 10 and I was doing some work, so I just don't want to be that kind of guy. But
Yeah.
then I think also on Angela's side, I think for expectations, I think she's grown really well into like this whole. I think she's kind of ready for motherhood, but I think it's just making sure that I support her in terms of what's it called, the emotional side, as opposed to just. Yeah, I'm just doing work. So I think obviously it's funny that we've all got different aspects of it, but I think it's still quite similar in terms of how we are seeing our expectations kind of change drastically from where it was from last year to, okay, cool, like next year is going to be a completely different year.
Thank you for tuning in to Wolfgang. If you like the podcast, please check us out on our YouTube channel or any of your favorite audio platforms. Likes or subscribes are always welcome. The Wolfgang Dads will be back this Monday and every Monday after that, so stay tuned.